Welcome back to Gaming News with Spoon. Some real quick information out of the way. It does seem like we have an announcement for new content coming from the Yakuza franchise. Sega had recently stated that the brand new game starring the new protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga, will have more information revealed on it in July 10th. Now, Ichiban Kasuga is going to be the replacement for Kiryu Kazuma after his whole arc was finished in Yakuza 6. I quite well enjoyed the Yakuza games, or at least Yakuza 0, as that is the only one in the series that I have played. I thought it was a very well done, executed game. I really enjoyed the game. I thought the characters were pretty cool. I look forward to being able to explore more as the series goes on. But this is all exciting news, especially with Judgment coming out, which is also closely tied to the Yakuza games as well. We're seeing this new game potentially being talked about. And that wasn't the only thing that popped up recently regarding the Yakuza franchise. So there's this game called Yakuza Kenzan, and this was a kind of feudalistic samurai Japan game that was set in the Yakuza universe, and it never got an official localization over here in the West, despite being on the PlayStation 3. So there's been 2 entries so far, but during a recent interview, and we'll just go over here to read it, but during a recent interview, it was said, so he was asked, will you continue to release new Kiwami remakes? And Daisuke Sato said, personally, Yakuza Kenzan is quite suitable to get a Kiwami makeover. Kenzan was the first Yakuza game on the PlayStation 3 and only released in Japan. A lot of Western players mentioned that they want to play this game in English, and Asian players also want to get the game to release in China, and because Kenzan was an early PlayStation 3 game, if it were to receive a simple HD remaster, it would feel like it was missing something, so in my opinion, a Kiwami version would be better. That's just some exciting news all around, and to hear them in the way that they bring games over is really, really cool, because a few Yakuza games back, fans were really having to beg to get Yakuza 4 and Yakuza 5 brought over, and the fact that Sega's like, yeah, here, have all these games, you know, we're finally bringing them over. It's just exciting to see, because it's really showing how the market is growing and how more and more people are discovering these games, and how we're getting a lot more people interested in games that maybe otherwise a few years ago wouldn't have happened. So I really do hope that we do get a remake of, or a Kiwami remake of Yakuza Kenzan. That would be some really sweet news to be able to report on the channel, and hopefully that would also allow them to maybe bring over the other game. Even though it's a PlayStation 4 game that was released back in 2015, it would still be cool to see that actually get an official English version and bring that over to their Western audiences. So we hear more information about that as well. That is something we will of course report on the channel, but I do hope that Sega has something up their sleeves when it comes to that. And also coming from Sega, we have information that is supposed to release sometime later today regarding the new Sakura Wars game that is in development. Project Sakura Wars, we know really next to nothing about it other than the few little bits of gameplay and trailer that we got, but it is a mech-based strategy game, and honestly, the series never really has seen any life outside of Japan other than the 5th entry that came out on the PlayStation 2 and the Wii back in the day. We haven't seen anything else from it, but this new soft reboot looks to be pretty cool. I really like the art style, and we're supposed to be getting some gameplay, so we'll check out the gameplay and kind of analyze that trailer when we get more information. Capcom also talked about making brand new games and completely new IPs, as well as saying that they're having a lot of success right now kind of going back and bringing out games from their older catalog. I mean, we've seen such games as Resident Evil 2 Remake happening. We've heard the talks that something along Dino Crisis could be happening, though that's just heavy rumor and speculation at this point. And we recently got the Onimusha game that was remastered for the PlayStation 4. Capcom's really having a lot of success bringing those games over, but they did mention that they're still going to be bringing out new games. They're still going to be releasing new games in their franchises, and as well as just coming up with new and original ideas. So I think it's pretty cool. Find a balance between those two. That's a really great place to be in. There's nothing wrong with porting games over from older systems, remastering them, and bringing them out for a new generation to play, but it has to be done with the brand new games coming out in pre-established series, or just coming up with brand new games in general. Either way, I'm very excited to see what Capcom has in store for us. And the last thing I briefly want to touch upon before we close out the video is Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind got more information from director Tetsuya Nomura. Now, I was not the biggest fan of Kingdom Hearts 3. It felt really incomplete to me. There was a lot that just kind of felt missing. It was very underwhelming. And honestly, I kind of hate the idea that we have to wait to actually get this DLC, but it does sound like it's going to add some substantial amount of story to the game. This is kind of going to be what he said the final mix versions were, adding additional content, additional scenes to explain more of the story. It's going to add in other playable characters, which is pretty cool, I guess, to kind of see that in there. Honestly, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a game that I may revisit once this kind of comes out, and I'm hoping that this DLC may end up changing my mind, but I may hold off playing it for a while just to make sure that this is the final DLC that we're going to be getting, because I want to be able to play Kingdom Hearts 3 when it's actually a complete experience. That is going to do it for video gaming news with spoons. As I said, we get more information today on the Sakura gameplay trailer. I will talk about that when I get off of work. So be sure to hit subscribe there so you guys can catch that video when it goes live, and you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links down below in the description box. If you guys want to help out with the channel here, I've got a couple weeks coming off of work starting Friday or Saturday, so we have a poll going over on Twitter right now to decide the next RPG that we're going to be playing on the channel. So if Trails of Cold Steel, Xenoblade Chronicles, Tales of Berseria, or the very first Lunar game is something you would like to be able to see reviewed on the channel and streamed, head over to Twitter and add your vote to that poll. It is on a pinned comment on my profile at TonberryKing128. You guys have been watching Gaming with Spoons, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. Spoons is checking out.